Greetings, friends, and welcome to today's dose of inspiration. Well, if you've been tuning in this week, then you know that we are parked on the subject of love. And yes, it is worth a whole week, probably even more, because love is the most important characteristic of a believer. Today I want to bring up to you again 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and we're going to kind of pull a lot of our information this week from that one chapter alone. It is often affectionately called the love chapter, and for very good reason. I want to encourage you all to stop on over and read the whole chapter if you have never done so. But today I want to point our direction to verse number 5. Paul is giving an admonition in his letter to the Corinthians about what love is, and one of the things that he cautions them is to not behave rudely. Did you know that if we are truly motivated by love, God's kind of love, we will not be rude? And now I know, as I've already said earlier in the week, sometimes our actions can be misconstrued as rude no matter what we do, no matter how perfectly we behave, no matter how eloquently we state things. We're still going to be accused of being rude, especially if we're direct and to the point. But there is a difference between an accusation of being rude and truly being rude. You know, whenever I watch social media, which I tend to do quite often, I am absolutely appalled at the way that I see people talking to each other. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and specifically YouTube is filled with hatred, sarcasm, and rudeness. It is unbelievable the way people feel they have a right to talk to each other. And bottom line, if you are treating people in that manner, you are not operating out of the supernatural love that God imparts into you when you become a believer. When you become a Christian and you fall radically in love with God, a natural byproduct of that is that you will love people. And loving people and caring about them in the right way will naturally dictate that you deal with them in a kind and soft way. Being rude will not even be a thought. And yes, I do absolutely believe that sarcasm is a form of rudeness that is not consistent with a behavioral pattern called love. I think we need to stop and evaluate ourselves today, myself included, because I know that my mouth can be the first thing often to get me in big trouble. And sometimes, especially in the heat of the moment, or when someone says or does something to us that's rude, naturally we want to respond back in a rude, sarcastic, hateful manner. And it really requires some self-control and yielding ourselves to the Holy Spirit to stop before we behave in a very unloving way. It is a challenge. It is not something that's done easily, but all the more reason and all the greater reminder that we must be dependent on the Holy Spirit each and every day, because it is only with His help and His strength that we will be able to respond and behave in an unrude manner. I want to thank all of you so very much for watching today. Until next time, I pray that you will walk in the favor and the blessing of the Lord. See you soon.